Hi, I'm Allison Rose with FlickDirect. Hello, how are you, Evelyn?
Great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So your character is Madison.
Marisol.
Yeah. Tell me how she fits into the whole story and just a little bit about her.
Okay, well, Marisol is an immigrant farm worker, and she is pure, I want to say, just hopeful
Mm.
and just in hope to have a better life for her family. And I feel like that's something that's beautiful, but is also something that a lot of people take advantage of. And in her case, that was exactly what happened. We especially like doctors and just people with positions of power, we just
Yeah.
somehow have this trust that we place onto them, thinking that they're going to make the best decisions for us. But the reality is that they let their moral views dictate their actions sometimes, and they're not also necessarily held accountable for them.
Right. Um, which was a great kind of twist to this whole story. But I feel like, sorry, Marisol, not Madison. I don't know where that came
Okay.
from. Marisol was kind of a catalyst in a way for Diana. Do you see her as that?
Yeah, because I think that Ariana, going into this in the beginning, had a very like one-sided, Mexican American view,
Mm,
just about things. She didn't necessarily want to move to the countryside. She didn't necessarily want to be there. And then at the end of the movie, you see that she just has an entire just flip of perspective and just reality and empathy that she found throughout just seeing um, what Marisol experiences.
we're trying to talk about it
Yeah,
without talking about it.
yeah.
It gets a little
With
difficult.
yeah, that's something I'm still trying to figure out.
um, well, it's okay. Mario kind of alluded to things, so
Okay.
you're off the hook if you spill a little bit, but we'll try
Ah,
not to do
okay.
that. It's a
Okay.
horror movie. um, Tell me, did you know the background of the story before you read the script? Did you know anything about it? Was it because it surprised me, which is what made it an even better film than it originally was.
Yeah.
So tell me about your perspective going into reading it and filming it.
I was completely blindsided because to me, I had no idea that this was real, that these things actually happen, especially in the United States, especially in California. I always think of California as this like liberal place where, immigrants, I'm Mexican, so where we have an opportunity to start a new life, for a better future for our families. But we quickly realize that there are also atrocious people here
Yeah.
as there are back in our home country, and the only difference is that here we don't have the liberty and the ability and the voice to defend ourselves because we are constantly haunted by the underlying reality that we can be deported at any moment.
Very true. You are really kind of powerless in that sense, or people are powerless. And interestingly enough, monsters are everywhere, and not necessarily in the form you would expect them to be.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, everybody needs to see this movie just for that,
Yeah.
aspect of it. I want to know because your part was really, I mean, heavy in you know what I mean? How do you get into that mindset?
It took a lot, to be honest. Like when I first got the script, I actually had so much resistance. I didn't want to do it because I knew that it was a big commitment and for me emotionally and physically. So I feel like I had so much resistance where I like called my agent. I was like, I don't think this is the one for me. And and he was like so adamant, like, no, you have to tape this, you have to do it, just do it. So when I got it, it was scary because I knew
Oh,
that I had to commit and I had to actually go there myself. And um, it was very much, nothing could have prepared me for that experience because I've never experienced that for myself ever. It was a physical experience where I literally felt like chills throughout my body. I was having hot flashes.
wow.
I literally couldn't like see for a second. Like my heart was pounding. It was awful. It was awful to say the least. I remember, and it's crazy because I feel like you working with Ariana, she's amazing, and she's
Yeah.
so amazing at being able to go in and out of scenes. And like, I'm not like that. I'm
Yeah.
100% in, and because I was actually filming my big emotional scenes all back to back, it was
Oh,
a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
yeah.
And I remember on one scene in the hospital scene, like when the director yelled cut, she was like trying to joke around with me, and I was just not having it.
Oh,
And she was super cool about it. She was like, "Oh, I get it, I get it." And I was just like, because I was so in it that I just couldn't get, just distracted by anything. And I remember it took me a second to, even when I got back to my hotel where my body was still and like this, like felt just horrible. And just
mm.
all of this, just sadness was just like, I remember just like crying when I got to the hotel and my
Oh,
body just felt like so heavy.
yeah. Yes, exactly. That's why I said that. I mean, it was just your performance, especially very heavy, very emotional, and that takes a toll on people, certainly. But for better or for worse for you, it worked beautifully, and it helps the story make a lot of sense
Yes.
in that regard. Uh, so, talk to me about working with the cast. I know you mentioned Ariana. Talk to me about her and everybody else. And
Tenoch is like amazing. The first day on set, I got to work with him and I got to work with Tomas or Joseph and Ryan. It was amazing. It was a dream experience for this to be my first movie as a Mexican American, actress, and be surrounded by people like me. It just felt so comfortable. Like I could
yeah,
be myself. I can relate to, like, we all related to one another. We all felt comfortable with one another. Um, I look at Tenoch just with so much respect. This man is amazing. Right now he's doing amazing things. He's great. And I told him I'm always going to take this with me wherever I go, just, to make me feel better about myself. But I remember on the first day when we filmed the farm scene,
yeah.
he came up to me after and he was like, "Wow, like you were so amazing. I could just tell that you were really, really in the scene." And I looked at him and I was like, I literally said one line. And he's like, and he was like, "Yes." He's like, "Exactly, but I can tell you were really like committed because anybody else would have just said the line." And I was like, "I will
uh,
take that. I will take that.
Take the compliment from wherever they
I
go.
will take it because it's you." But because Tenoch is amazing, and that was a huge compliment. But I'm so grateful to be a part of a cast with so many working actors. Ariana's
Yeah,
doing amazing things to Tenoch. Ryan is on set right now. So just to be a part of this emerging cast and crew is just a dream, to
I'm
say the
sure it
least.
was a fantastic learning experience for you
Yeah.
as well. Well, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for the movie because, as I told Marcelo and Mario, I mean, it was an eye opener for me, honestly, and it was a subject matter that you wouldn't necessarily think of a horror, but it works really well.